This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Good evening and welcome to the News at 7. I'm Rafael Sanchez. An outspoken city county councilor calls it quits. Today, Stephen Clay resigned from his elective post 6 months before the end of his term. Clay has been at odds with fellow Democrats for nearly 2 years after he became council president with the help of Republicans back in January of 2018. The move did not sit well with Democrats, angered with the political shift. Now, Clay only served as council leader for 6 weeks back in 2018. And this year he announced he would not seek a new term. He decided to leave his post officially at noon today.
I felt it incumbent to create an opportunity for someone to step in since we've been expelled from the caucus as a matter of retaliation because we had the audacity to run for president. This 13th district deserves to be represented. They deserve to have a counselor in the caucus that can secure that information, that empowers and equips him or her to adequately be able to cast the kind of vote for a city's budget that's over $1.3 billion.
What is next in this case? The Marion County Democratic Party chair tells me that within the next 30 days, a replacement will be chosen to fill the remainder of Clay's term. The number is staggering. 10 people shot in downtown Indianapolis since May the 1st. It's a shocking number when you compare that to last year, when only 4 people were shot in downtown Indianapolis for the entire year. So what's behind the uptick? Call 6 Investigates Paris LaBelle looks into the increase.
Those numbers concerning for police, but also the community as well. And now they say it's an all-out community effort to try and reduce the violence.
Shots ringing out through downtown over the weekend in Indianapolis. The 10th shooting downtown since May 1st, happening near Meridian and South Streets, where a man was shot and killed just after 1:30 a.m. on Sunday. This weekend's homicide adding to an uptick in weekend violence around the downtown area. One of the areas of focus for police is along the canal, where 3 people were shot last weekend. But again this weekend, shots ringing out along the canal.
Shots fired along the canal. I heard them from my apartment. It's a rifle. There was probably about 10 to 15 shots. Multiple people were running.
Metro Police say they have all been isolated incidents, and most have started over simple arguments.
Don't handle it yourself. Don't get mad and get upset. That's when things usually start heading in a bad direction. There are police officers everywhere downtown, especially on a Friday and Saturday night. Come and find one of us. Let us know that you're having an issue.
Police tell us those cases are currently under investigation. Right now they say there's no link between them, but they are still investigating. Reporting tonight, Paris LaBelle, RTV6.
Paris, thank you. RTV6 is working for you tonight to get results. A beloved community park gets some upgrades after RTV6 asked questions about the problems that needed to be fixed at Lentz Park, also known as Lynn Park, by the neighbors there. The basketball court needed some fixing, and there was only 1 bench and only 1 trash can. Back in May, we talked to the community about Lynn Park Project, a group that gathers at the Westside Park to play cards, hang out, barbecue, and come together.
A lot of people know this area and what they heard, but when you come out here and you see all the people standing around and shooting basketballs and actually playing the games and interacting and bringing in the hot dogs and the waters and the Gatorades, you know, you're like, oh, wow. You know, this ain't what we used to hearing in the last few years from this community, so.
It's all about the results. RTV6 reached out to Indy Parks with concerns about the issues there at Lynn Park. New today, we learned the Parks Department has now made some improvements with new benches and trash cans and even a new net for that basketball hoop. Working for you here means helping you find solutions every single day. If there's a problem and you feel helpless, reach out to us here at RTV6. You can do that by messaging Working For You at RTV6.com. We'll see what we can do to help you with that situation. Now time to go outside, take a live look. We're looking to the west. What a beautiful view that is. Much calmer, quieter compared to the same time last Monday with those evening storms, especially in the Pendleton area. That's behind us as they continue to recover. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory with the outlook as we look to Tuesday. Kevin, what's happening?
Well, we stayed dry this evening and overnight. That's the good news. Rain holds off until late tomorrow. It's 72 in Peru, 75 in Bloomington. We've come a long way. Temperatures outside of Indianapolis were in the upper 40s this morning. Warmer temperatures sit out to the west, but also out to the west. the ring of some showers and thunderstorms. Again, the chance is small during the day tomorrow. Through the evening hours, our temperatures will drop to 66 by 11 o'clock with a clear sky. Walk you through tomorrow. 58 first thing in the morning. By noon, a few more clouds, maybe a shower in the northern third of the state. 76 degrees. 82, the magic number tomorrow afternoon. That's in Indianapolis. Some spots to the north, just a little bit cooler. We'll talk about our increasing chance for thunderstorms the rest of the week coming up.
Tonight, a consumer alert from the Indiana Department of Natural Resources. At least 1,500 plants sold around the state are infested with a fungus that can kill oak trees. The DNR says as for now, the disease has not spread to any trees, but it does not take very much. Planting an infected rhododendron within just 6 feet of an oak tree can kill it. The plants infected with sudden oak death were sold at 18 Rural King stores and 70 Walmart locations across Indiana. Those stores have been ordered to stop selling the rhododendrons for now, but the spread of sudden oak death has killed more than 1 million trees along the West Coast. The DNR says the infection would have a greater impact in the Hoosier State because we have such a large population of oak trees. And officials are still investigating stores across Indiana for any infected plants.
My staff are currently working through all of the Walmarts in the state of Indiana to remove those infected plants off the shelves and make sure that anything that else could have been cross-contaminated is safeguarded and protected and tested.
Keep this in mind. A plant carrying that sudden oak death will have brown, wilted leaves. If you purchase rhododendrons from Indiana's Walmart, Rural King stores, your DNR says you should destroy them or call 1-866-NO-EXOTIC for more instructions on what to do. Meetings are now underway between the U.S. and Mexico to talk about President Trump's threats to put tariffs on products imported from Mexico. President Trump threatened those new taxes unless Mexico reduces the number of migrants coming across the border. And today, Chipotle announced it might raise prices to cover those tariffs if they happen. The company says the additional tax could raise its cost by $15 million this year alone. The Indiana Chamber of Commerce is criticizing the president's tariff threat. The chamber released a statement today saying, in their own words, using economic threats against our neighbor and one of our country's largest trading partners to compensate for unfulfilled promises by the administration and Congress on immigration is an irrational and extremely damaging concept. The chamber goes on to say Indiana businesses and consumers will once again be the innocent victims through paying what amounts to be tax increases. Nearly 1/6 of the $4.5 billion of Mexican products imported into our state in 2018 came in the important auto parts sector. If implemented, the statement goes on to say, a likely retaliation of tariffs on American products will further impact Hoosiers and damage our economy. June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. A new Alzheimer's Association ad campaign is supposed to help people feel comfortable getting help.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it, to bring the family in on it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out.
The campaign is called Our Stories, real people sharing their experiences, noticing something was off and having to tell someone. The Alzheimer's Association says it hopes that this will help people tackle a pretty tough topic. It found that 90% of people would want to share any symptoms with a loved one, but that 75% say it would just be too hard. Still ahead on the news at 7. Passionate residents make one last push to stop a controversial development in Zionsville. That story is next. But first, here's Kevin.
We've got several topics of discussion. The wet pattern will return. We'll talk about exactly when, how much rain we may see, and how warm temperatures will get. That's all next.
At 6 a.m. for your chance to win a pair of tickets.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
And happening right now at 7:10 in the evening, a meeting in Zionsville underway on a controversial rezoning plan. The town council is voting tonight whether to allow a downtown development that would include apartments, retail space, and a parking garage. Now, some residents say the development is not in the character of Zionsville, and they're concerned about all that traffic. There was major opposition to the project at a council meeting last month, but one council member was absent, and so the vote was split 3-3. Tonight, the entire council, I'm told, is present. So are opponents of the plan. We'll let you know what happens and what they decide tonight on the IndyChannel.com, our website, and of course, tonight on the news at 11. We'll see what happens then. Now, time to check your forecast. What a beautiful couple of days in central Indiana, but things, as we know, as a new month rolls in, are about to change.
But the good news is we're dry now. We'll dry tonight.
We'll take it.
Most of tomorrow. So we're kind of getting a chance. I saw farmers out in the field over the weekend.
That was awesome.
We're making a little progress. All right, all these colors do represent the potential for some heavy rain, especially southern Indiana south. But within the Hoosier State could see a strip of 2 to 4 inches of rain. That is through Wednesday through Sunday. We got a little time here. You see our rain chances are low tomorrow. Wednesday, the most likely time for rain in the short term, periods of rain, shouldn't be an all-day rain on any of these days. Then as we get to the weekend, Saturday night seems to be the most likely time for thunderstorms and rain. Tomorrow's dry, but our thunderstorm chances come with some severe weather potential in the middle of the week. Their temperatures all in the low 80s, generally speaking. Only thing that will hamper that would be the timing of some of the showers and thunderstorms. 7 a.m. in the morning, just some hazy sunshine. Clouds then lead to a couple of isolated showers. That's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Lafayette, Kokomo to Peru, 4 o'clock. And again, these are limited. The rest of central Indiana likely stays dry until Wednesday. High temperatures tomorrow. To the north, 20% chance of thunderstorms, just missing the 80-degree mark in a few spots. Should be up and over to the south because I don't think you'll have as much cloud cover. And in the metro area, 82 with a southwest wind at about 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, periods of rain, some morning showers and thunderstorms. That moves on. See another area develop. And as we go into the afternoon, some more showers and thunderstorms around. The ultimate key in where the axis of heaviest rainfall will be by the end of the week is where the stationary front, which is really the railroad track that these showers and thunderstorms moves along, where that decides to kind of stop for a while. Temperatures around 80 Wednesday with the periods of thunderstorms. Some spots may make it into the lower 80s. And as you look at the weekend, I'll point out, at least from our perspective here on Monday evening, Saturday night looks to be the most likely time for rainfall. Some could be heavy. 7-day planner pretty consistent. Highs around 80 degrees, give or take a couple. And then lows in the 60s. This morning was 48. Most areas outside of Indianapolis. If you open the windows to let that fresh air in, you may have hopped up, go over, and close that window thinking it's too cool.
Kevin, thank you so much. Our Hiring Hoosiers report coming up next after the break. But trade schools growing in popularity as an option to college. We're crunching the numbers to help you decide the right training for you. Plus, overcoming a criminal record to land a job that can provide. Details on that next on the news at 7.
Only get yours at Zaxby's.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers guides you to job openings and examines the barriers that can keep Hoosiers out of a job. Now, since we began this project, we've been getting plenty of questions about landing a job if you have a criminal record. Today, RTV6's Mark Mullins looks at one organization which prides itself on forgiving the past for those who are committed to their future.
This is every day, every hour on the hour.
She's what's called a team lead 2 here at the Goodwill Outlet in Greenwood. In essence, an assistant manager.
So I do the schedule, I lead shifts, I do payroll. There's about 40 people that work on a shift, so we got to ensure their safety and everything's getting done.
Angel Beyersdorfer is proud of the strides she's made to get here.
Yes, a lot of confidence, because when I started here, I was in a halfway house, and I got the job here, and it was like the best day ever.
A halfway house was a step up for Angel. She knows what rock bottom really looks like.
So I had a drug addiction for about 10 years.
Daily doses of meth for 10 years eventually led to an arrest, jail time, a felony charge, and the Department of Child Services taking her kids away. She calls it her wake-up call.
because I had nothing. Everything I've ever had was gone that day.
She made a pact to change, got clean, got out of prison and into a halfway house. She needed a job and she wanted her kids back.
All the way down.
But she also had a felony conviction.
The second they seen my record, they didn't want me. Like, I applied at Walmart, got the job. They got my criminal background back, and then they didn't have me start. Same thing at the dollar store. I didn't get the job. So then I came to Goodwill.
Goodwill says it has plenty of open positions in its retail stores and outlet stores like this one, but it also has open positions in the corporate level. They're all about giving people a second chance, too.
We believe that it doesn't matter what you did, it's what you can do and what an individual can do now and moving forward. So if you want a chance at Goodwill, you're going to get a chance. And if you want to advance at Goodwill, you can really do that if you stick with it.
Wait till they're set, please.
Angel is living proof. She started as a part-time donation attendant, moved up to cashier, promoted to a shift supervisor, on the path to run her own store. Upward moves, even with a felony conviction on her record.
It makes me feel like I still can be somebody, and my background doesn't judge me. I'm not judged by my background here.
More than 3 years clean and sober, a stable, budding career, and her children back home with her and on the honor roll, too. In Greenwood, Mark Mullins, RTV6.
Mark, that is a great story. Best of luck to her and her family. Because of the current labor force shortage, more companies are open to candidates who have a drug or alcohol convictions as long as they meet certain requirements. And the state of Indiana recently passed a law to help applicants land a job. You can file what's called a restricted disclosure of arrest of convictions. It essentially blocks crimes of your record from showing up on criminal history checks. This applies to nonviolent and non-sexual offenses. If you want to learn more about open positions at Goodwill, its criminal record guidelines, or the Indiana restricted disclosure laws that I just talked about, we've posted all of that information with the links in this story on our website. That's right, hiringhoosiers.com. Part of hiring Hoosiers is outlining educational paths and opportunities because everyone has their own track. And more students, it appears, are turning to trade school these days to avoid taking on student debt. Kai Beach is looking into whether that lower cost really pays off in the end.
Working in trades isn't the draw it used to be, but it's making a comeback.
That's it?
That's it. For decades, most students seeking higher education
I'm a genius.
chose traditional four-year college degrees over working with their hands. But the rising cost of college, mixed with massive student loan debt, now has more students going to trade schools.
Low-2 sensor information.
People like Kyle Martin,
especially when you're talking to the customer,
who's studying automotive technology at Lincoln Tech.
You know, I'm not the type that's going to sit down for years and years and study. It only takes 1 year to get an education to be out there making $20 an hour.
It'll take Martin 13 months and cost him $32,000 to complete this program. An option he believes will pay off much better than a bachelor's degree.
It's cost efficient and it's, you know, a great use of your time. You can get in and out really fast.
In and out and into the workforce, making money while traditional students are still studying. But does this make financial sense? Well, let's crunch the numbers. Auto mechanics earned an average salary of about $43,000. While four-year college grads averaged a starting salary of about $50,000. But those numbers can change drastically based on experience and ambition.
You can make, anywhere from $16 an hour to $200 an hour.
Welding instructor Jesse James Ramsey says there's big opportunities to make big money in trades.
You want to go out there and get your own truck and get your own rig, that's when you're going to start making the big bucks. After doing that for a couple of years, you don't even have to weld anymore. You just hire some other guys and they can go weld for you, and then you're just doing all the deals, behind the scenes.
But getting those qualified blue-collar workers is a challenge of its own.
And the reason for that is because we spent so little time talking about the careers as an opportunity.
Dr. Kelly Moore of Lincoln College of Technology says while trade school enrollment has increased over the past 3 years,
why did it get so loose?
There's still a shortage of students studying trades.
Just a little bit more.
I'm Kai Beach reporting.
Right.
So many options out there. You're watching the news at 7 only on RTV6.
That's why the bananas look so good at Meyer.
This is worth multiple views. Finally tonight, a rare look at race day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This video was released today. It's from the cockpit of an F-16 that took part in the 4-aircraft flyover as Kelly Clarkson, as you may recall, was singing the national anthem. The pilot is doing what's called a quick climb straight up into the air so you can see the speedway and all of the Circle City right behind him getting smaller and smaller and smaller behind him. But you know what? You can watch that all day long. I'm putting that on my phone.
Unless you're in the plane, then you probably like lose consciousness. You
can I do that?
Sure you can.
Yeah, Pentagon, right. I'm putting it on my phone. Kevin?
Say hello to Parker. I bet you if Darlene threw the ball from Story, Indiana, where Parker lives, all the way up to Nashville, he'd retrieve it and bring it right back. 75 is our current temperature. 66 at 11 o'clock tonight. It stays beautiful all evening.
I am downloading that video. More news tonight at 11. Have a good evening.